Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts. So today we're going to do a bit more bitbox crafting. I've just finished filming this video where we made these 5 cards where I was trying to use up this paper pad because I've got a few paper pads like this that are just got a ridiculous amount of tiny little papers left in them, not a lot, that need used up. I mean, look at that, it's like practically empty. You see it there? Big gap because there's barely anything there. So I want to kind of try and use some of these up, and also my bit box was getting too full so that it couldn't fit any more scraps in, so I was just trying to work my way down there. But I'd already been filming for quite some time, so I've paused it and we are now on to part 2. So I'm just going to clear these away, get some more blank cards, and let's get going again. What I've actually done is I've just ripped out all the papers that were left, so that's me left with just all those stubby bits, which part of me is tempted to keep and part of me thinks is ridiculous, but I will definitely keep this back panel there because that can be used for something absolutely. Right, so rather than check what's in my bit box, I am actually just going to get some of these papers down on all 4 of these cards because I really want to use this paper up, and yeah. Let's just sort of get started with that and put some sort of arrangement together on the cards. So then it's a different style of how I was approaching it. I was approaching it differently last time. Last time I was sort of starting in my bit box and working around it, whereas this time I'm going to focus on getting this paper pad smashed. And if we happen to have things in the bit box that go, fantastic. If not, well, we'll just work our way around that when we come to it. Right now, I'm not going to stress overly about it. I'm just going to get these cards covered and used up and see what occurs. So I like that. I'm going to now, they have a sort of, actually, they have a sort of dot, call it perforated edge, so there's a bit of a jarring on that. Right, and I'm going to stick some of the yellow down there as well because it's just lovely. I like that side too. Well, use that side or another one. Right, so I'm going to get that there like so, and I'm kind of tempted to put this across like that. Oh, I like that. What we're going to do with it next, I have no idea, but I like that. Right, so that's sort of the base of one of them sorted. Let's neaten that up. I might just have to go on and get more cards if we still have paper left. Right. This sort of 2-part video might turn into a 3- and 4-part video at this rate. Right, let's see, what have we got? Oh, I like the yellow stripe. Should we have it? I think I'll have it vertical this time because we went horizontal on that card. So, let's mix it up. Let's mix it up. And so I'm sort of trying to cover one of the cards, like cover the full base, because I know that's going to be the easiest way of sort of using up the papers. Which is ridiculous, but I bought this paper pad pretty much when I started my YouTube channel, which is maybe just over 2 years old now, and at the time I was determined I was just going to use it all up, and I started and I filmed lots of, I mean I could probably find them somewhere, I filmed lots of bits and bobs of me sort of doing just that, and then I haven't touched it in ages. And I think what I tend to do is I'm not very good at sort of working at smashing a paper pad. I find I get bored of it really quite easy. So I kind of maybe have to be working on a few different things at the same time. So I have tried this before and didn't succeed with this paper pad, so let's get it smashed now. So I think I've got lots of videos, especially in the earlier days of my YouTube channel, using this paper pad. So if I remember, I might link back to them. I'm sure I saw a tiny sliver of paper somewhere. Yeah. So look at me, I'm genuinely using the tiny little slivers of things to build this up. I like that. Right, I like that one. Okay. Right, so that's 2 done. And we've got 2 more. Actually, I think we're going to smash it because we don't have a huge amount left. Right, yep. Right, so what have I done? Oh, I did both of those vertical. So let's do these 2 cards. We've got the same stripes, but let's go horizontal this time with these ones. It's probably easier to put it on the card. And as I said, I'm hoping that there might be something in the bit box that will go with it. Sure, there's bound to be something. Bound to be something. But won't it be fantastic to call this paper pad smashed? That would be amazing. I think because I did that smash that small paper pad, I think I did actually completely use up paper pads last year, which I have never done in my life. So I didn't do many, I only did about 3, but that's 3 more than I've ever done before. So as I said, because the boredom factor definitely sets in with me, and I just I get to the stage where I'm sick of the back teeth of the thing that I'm working with, and I need a break from it. But then when I have a break from it, I come back at it with fresh eyes because I'm absolutely loving this again now. So let's see what have we got. Yeah. Something like that maybe. Do I want that? Yeah, let's go for that. So let's I'll keep that straight since it's straight. Oh, why not? So we'll stick that down. I have no idea what we're doing with these cards after. At the minute I'm just sticking the paper down, and we'll see what occurs with it all afterwards. Right. Definitely liking the yellow at the minute. And then we'll have this one across the bottom like so. I've not even edged any of these or anything. I'm just so excited about getting the paper down and getting it used up that normally I'd have done the edges and all of that sort of stuff. I'm just slapping it on. That's fine. We'll find other techniques of bringing it all together. Not a problemo. Right, I've got that, and then I'm seeing that, I'm thinking that, oh yeah, I like that. So I'm just gonna, this might seem absolutely ridiculous, but it's from it's got a slight pipped edge. It's going to bother me, and there's no way I'm going to get that tiny slither in the guillotine, so we'll just go with fussy cutting it, and then we'll pop that there. Ooh, I like, or do I want it that way? Yeah, I'll go that way, so I've got the straight edge that side. Now I've kind of got torn and straight in, going in different directions, which just adds to the interest of it. I do like doing this, like literally using every sliver of it, not just like, alright, that's good, there's a tiny little bit there. It's like, no, let's just even get these tiny little bits used. Absolutely, let's just go for it. Right, so we will neaten up that. I feel like these scissors have got really mangled. They're not my normal ones, so struggling with them a little bit. If I seem to be not managing to find my words today, I've been filming all afternoon. I think this is what have I got? I've got 3 videos in progress, one that I've just finished and then this one. So 5 videos I'm working on today sort of simultaneously. So if I seem to lose the ability to speak, I do apologise. Right, the connection with the camera appears to be lost, so I don't know if it really has been lost or not. So I'm just about to check it now. A few issues with my camera there, so hopefully we're alright now. So continue to cut this down and we'll see what we have left. Okay, so quite happy so far, I have to say. I'm surprised. I thought I'd have like more than those tiny bits left, so I am pleased. So we've got mission accomplished. We've got rid of that. It's a beautiful paper pad, but we've used it up, so all good on that front. Oh, I like that. So we could have something like that. So I'm going to pop that there, like so, and then I'm going to stick that bit there because I like that like that. Right, so let me just, I've got a big card here, but I'm thinking a smaller card might be better. Oh, I don't think Dad, somebody's calling for Dad and Daddy's not hearing her, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to take this tiny bit of pink striped because there's just a little slit in that bit there that's going to bother me, so I'm just going to pop that there for just now. Right, and then we'll neaten this up. Oh dear, just hate life under this current. That's me just spoken to my daughter and like seriously, she's fine, she's absolutely fine. But she felt a little bit hot and now she's worried and you're like, oh for goodness sake, it's just they hear so much with this constant, and it's like, honestly darling, you've nothing to worry about. So now she's up with her dad watching a bit of a musical, you know, just to try and distract her a little bit. Poor toot. Right, so I'm just going to take whatever is left and let's stick it onto this card here. There we go. I mean we've got florals on their side there, but that's fine. Why not? It's just a splash of colour, and then we'll see if we've got anything in our bit box to match any of this. Oh dear. Right, let's, there we go, so we've got that bit there, and then we've got this little patch here, which maybe doesn't work on this one. What have we got? Check me, I'm getting to the stage now, this is getting ridiculous. I'm determined. I'm determined. It's you know, we are using up these scraps, people. Absolutely we are. Actually that could be a flag on, oh, I don't know where that's going to go right now, but I'm going to use it. I just don't know where right now, so I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to go on with putting this together. Right. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, because I genuinely, my bit box isn't my favourite right now. It's got some random stuff in it. As I said, it's from when I was helping out sort out this lady's stash, and some of the stuff was just in bits and it's like I didn't know where to put it, and it's just gone into my bit box. I'm just going to save those bits there. So the stuff that's in it right now isn't really speaking to me, but at the same time I don't really want to be throwing it out. So I'm just going to have a rummage, see what is there, and then let's see what we can do with these blank cards that we've created. Okay, So I'm going to try my best not to overthink this too much. So I picked up this was actually in my bit box. It was a little sort of paper clip flag thing that I made when using up scraps another time, and then I've not actually put it on anything, so it's just gone straight back into the bit box. So I thought that could be quite good. What have we got? A little sentiment there, quite like that. I'll stick that down. Take the pips off. That's more than the pips, that's like half the tag as well. Right, so we'll pop that there. And then I've got a whole, just beside me, I've got a whole load. I was actually using these in the last video, so if you watched that, you will have seen that. I've got a whole load of sort of Fussy Cut butterflies and birds from when I was doing the Smash That Small paper pad series, which I've stepped away from this year just purely in that I'm finding that I'm doing a lot more Hochanda shows and things than I ever thought I would be, and yeah, I was just struggling to maintain it, to be honest. Right, so I think this could be that. Just a little bit of black pen and doodling on that one would be fab. So I'm sort of working in a very different way. Normally I'd sort of complete a card and move on. I'm sort of going to get all of these ready to the doodling stage and then doodle them all together. But that kind of works. So I like that. Okay, so let's see what have we got here. I actually really like that as is. I think just even that would work. That and a bit of doodling, which would be fab. So I'm just going to go with that. As I said, let's not overthink it this time. I think last time I spent far too much time just faffing about with it. So let's not do that this time. Yeah, just pop that there, and then maybe a couple of butterflies. Get these butterflies that I've obviously spent ages fussy cutting. I think because quite often when I look at a paper, I kind of try and find elements in it that I could use, and so I realised that all these butterflies could be embellishments, so I obviously spent ages sitting fussy cutting them all out. So as soon as I went to all that bother, let's use them. And as I said, it's meaning I'm very quickly being able to put a card together, which is awesome. Right, so that's that one. Oh, never this fast. Right, what have we got here going on with these two? Let's see, can I maintain the speed? The thing is, I'm going to start faffing about with elements I'm not as keen on now. I do have this house. This is one of the Dolly Dimples houses, which I coloured up for a project and then never used. But let's see, we could maybe fussy cut this. Thankfully this is really easy to fussy cut because it's a very simple shape. It's pretty much just straight lines, so we should manage to do that, no bother. So I think this, I can see that it was stamped. Scissors, so I've just seen another pair. These aren't my scissors either, but where my scissors actually are, I don't know. Right. Let's get that cut out, because I think it could work quite well on this card. I'm not going to bother with the trees. I might sort of fussy cut them out and have them separate, but at least this way I can sort of, yeah, actually I like that. I like that. I think it works. I think it works. Let's get a bit of cardboard, and I'm happy because it means we're actually using elements from the bit box as well, which is good because it was just getting too full. It was getting to the stage where I was struggling to fit more in it. So it's like, yep, it needs sorted. So I've sort of filmed this video and the previous one back to back, so I can't remember what I said on each, but I have had people sort of say to me in the past, you're going to need a bigger bit box, and I really don't like getting a bigger bit box because I find I just fill it, whereas if I get to the stage of like, oh wow, that is really full, I can't fit any more in it, then I stop and do this and take a bit of time and empty it by, you know, getting some stuff done, you know, doing some crafting, using it up. And I just found, I remember once I had so many scraps, and honestly I tried to work my way through them, and I was fussy cutting them out, and I was spending so long trying to do stuff with these scraps that I really lost the will with it, and I just felt overwhelmed, and I donated a hoard to schools, and I die cut it, and as I said, I kind of got to that stage where it's like, no, I really have to sort of use up these scraps. So I wasn't accumulating more. And yeah, the other thing I like to do, which I did do once, I think I'm going to have to make myself a cup of tea and come back on this channel. Yep, I'm just going to fussy cut this and stick it down and get myself a cup of tea. I tell you, my husband must be aligned with my needs, because literally just as I paused the camera he walked in with this. So I've had a few slurps. That's better. Right, I've got this little acetate sentiment here that says to someone special, so I'm just going to slide that in there. And what's fab is I can just put the glue in the corner because it's acetate. Yeah, so I'd got myself to the stage where I just felt incredibly overwhelmed by all the scraps, and so I don't do it now. I just don't do it to myself because I can't throw anything away because it's too pretty. I have to use it. But then if it gets to the stage where you don't use all the bits you've squirreled away, that can just feel kind of miserable too. So that's why I don't have a big bit box. I have a small one. When it starts getting too full, I do something about it. To be honest, I'm always crafting from my bit box naturally anyway. I quite often just kind of think, oh, what my project needs something, what does it need? And instead of sort of rooting through my craft stuff, I sort of have a little route through my bit box. But I was just finding, yeah, it was getting a bit beyond help. It was, yeah, I was kind of at the stage of like, that's not going to fit anymore in, is it? Right, it's time to get a wiggle on. Right, so that's that one. Happy with that. As I said, I'm going to come back and do all these, the doodling, edging and doodling on that, although I'll probably do that on speed up, to be honest. Right, so we've got this. I'll grab another slurp of tea while I think. See, I still keep pulling this out, but it's not, actually it maybe works on that one. Do you know what? It's not my favourite, it's really not me at all, but it's been in my bit box for ages and I don't like it overly, so let's just get it used. Somebody will like it. That's the thing, even if things aren't your personal taste. I'm always really surprised. I don't sell cards as much now as I used to, when it was more of a hobby rather than a job, but I used to quite often I was always making cards, and I always had friends and family going, oh, can we buy some cards off you? And I was always really surprised at what people took. And it was funny because some of my friends I could guarantee always took my favourite ones, and some of my friends I could guarantee would always take my least favourite ones. So sometimes even if it's not your style and you're not living it, it will be right up somebody else's street, so don't worry about it overly. Or as I said, this one will go to like an elderly relative who's partially blind and can't tell. Right, so I've got that, and let's see, I've got some of these acetate butterflies that could work. Yeah, if we're going to go tacky, we may as well go the whole log. Right, I'll do that. Actually, I've got this with that. Well, actually, that might just sort of lessen it. It's too white though, so let's grab a bit of Distress ink. This is where your more is more technique is brilliant. because you're using more of your box. You're getting more of it used up, so like layer it on as much as you possibly can. It's like, go for it. Get it used. Right, I'm just going to take the white off that because it was just too white. There we go. I think that matches a bit better now. Yep. So we'll pop that on. Pop my ink away. Right. Yeah, this is not the time for holding back. This is the time for just getting as much on as possible, because then you created more room, and so it's all good. Right, got that. I'll put some of the pinky ones on as well, so that we've got a little kaleidoscope of butterflies. That's all good. I'm going to have to tilt that so you can see it. There you go, it's like little cupcakes. Right, pop that down there. Perfect. Right, and then we've got this one, and I've already pulled out, I've got this here. She was from a magazine. So I'm just going to pop out. She's got a few pips, so let me just get rid of those. I'm going to glue her down. She goes both ways. That's interesting. Now I've got to decide which way I prefer her. That way. The original. See, quite often when you start faffing, you find that your original gut feeling of where to put it was the right one. Whoop! It's not what I want to drop her. Now I've got glue all over the card, but hey ho. Right, well, let's get her stuck down there. She was from, I was doing a journal page, I think, and she was pop out from a magazine, and then I ended up not using her on the journal page. So she went in my box. Right, so what have we got? Still got this little bit of paper that I want to somehow use, so that I can say that I've used my entire paper pad. This is very important to me. So let's just create a little banner, and I can pop that there. Or there, yes, I prefer it down there. We do have glue all over it, but you know, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with it all. Doesn't matter, don't worry about these things. Yes, it would have bothered me, that tiny little scrap of paper. I wouldn't have wanted to throw it away, and I wouldn't have felt like I'd smashed it if I'd put it back into my bit box. So there we go. I need to put my card up. We're just putting it there. Okay. So we'll pop that there, and then I've got this little, this is one of Emma's dragonflies, which I think I'll just pop there. Like so. Yeah, and actually I think that could do for that card. Right, so I am now going to just, you know me, I like to edge everything in black. I like to add a doodly border. So I'm just going to tidy away this stuff, and then I'm just going to do my edging and stuff on fast forward. So I've smashed my paper pad, used it all up. I have been left with some of these sticker sheets though. I will deal with that on another video or on another project, but I'm still delighted to have used the papers from the pad, and we've used some extra bits from the bit box. So it's looking a bit emptier, It's not completely empty, but you know, we've got room to be throwing stuff in there as we're crafting, so it's all good. The only other thing that I did extra was I just popped a little bit of pencil and moved that out with a paper stub, just because I felt the house needed grounding a little bit. I keep contemplating black splashes, but I don't actually think these cards need them, so I think I'm just going to leave it well alone and call it a day. I hope you have enjoyed crafting with me today. Please do consider liking and subscribing if you've enjoyed the video, and I will be back with some more crafty goodness very, very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye!